So in this class we discuss about the domain specific IoTs. The aim is to basically discuss the application of IoT in the different sectors. The first of such sectors is the smart home automation. Basically, when we are discussing about the home automation, the Internet of Things can be used for some of the applications like smart lighting, smart appliances, intrusion detection, smoke and gas detectors, etc. So when we talk about the smart lighting, okay, so when the house is, let's say, not occupied, we can just simply turn off the lights. Like you can see in this video, it actually shows some applications related to the uh, use of Internet of Things. So here you can see how the human life can be simplified or the home can be automated as this whole individuals must be at home. You can see the garage door is open so that we can now you see the once the bathroom is occupied, the door can be turned off or can be closed, and once the bathroom is not in use, the lights can be turned off. Similarly, whatever the food items are unavailable in the refrigerator, they can be marked as out of stock, okay, and the same can be sent as notification. So let's say you want to wake up someone, you can remotely control the volume of some music playing in their bedroom. And now you can see the vehicle diagnostics in action. So since the gas or the fuel is low, the IoT system is advising this person to leave early so as he can fill the gas on his way to office. So once the car is started, it is detecting whether toxic fumes are present or not. So if the toxic fumes are present, it will actually keep the door open. So here you can see that the child has left a door open and the IoT system is sending a notification to inform him that the door is open. So once the occupants have left, you can see that the cooling of the home has been stopped. So once the person arrives in the office, the computer is woke up, the office is active, and the shades are open. So once a conference room has been utilized, it is shown as booked, and the meetings are now transferred to some other office room or conference room. Similarly, there is a vehicle to infrastructure network, and you can see speed limits are being communicated to the vehicle, and the smartphone here is displaying the speed limits. Now you can see she is pre-booking few food items in a restaurant. This is again possible with the help of Internet of Things. Now you can see there is a sprinkler repairman who has arrived. Since it is a IoT based sensor sprinkler network, so that's why it requires Wi-Fi access. So from his office he can grant the Wi-Fi access, and then you can see that person going to repair it. So if some toxic fumes or water leakage is detected, the notifications can be sent here. So you see few items are out of stock and the same notification will be sent to the lady. She is just snoozing the notifications, and if you recall, she had pre-ordered few things. Now see, the waiter is already informed about her arrival and he is bringing the food items. now see, as they are playing in the garden, that's why the sprinkler will be detecting the same and it will postpone its sprinkling. This is the same sprinkler that was repaired by the sprinkler repairman. So see, soil moisture is less than a certain value, then the plants can be irrigated. This is again visitor identification. That means intrusion detection. So your visitors can be easily recognized in this case using the IoT system. So once the people finish their work and they move to their bedrooms, the rooms which are unoccupied, for them the lights can be turned off automatically. This will result in a lot of energy saving. So these are some of the applications of the smart home or smart home automation. Like we saw in that case, smart lighting, when the rooms were unoccupied, the lights were being turned off. Smart appliances were there, and like the oven was preheating automatically, intrusion detection, smoke and gas detection. All these things we saw in that video. Next is the application of Internet of Things to cities. Some of the examples of applications are like smart parking, like whatever parking slots are empty, the same can be informed to the user or the person who is intended to park the car. Smart lighting can be there. Parts of the roads which are unoccupied, there the lights can be turned off to save energy. Smart roads can be there, which will be equipped with sensors, which will tell the cars about the driving conditions, the speed limits, etc. Then structural health monitoring is another major application. That means whenever there is a bridge, or let's say an overbridge, or any other infrastructure is there, so we can have certain sensors which will actually monitor the stress strain levels and the vibration levels in those structures, and this will help in predicting when what is their life and how good that structure is there, how good that structure's health is there. Similarly, surveillance can be also possible. So whenever there is an activity, some cameras can be turned on or off. Similarly, emergency response can be there. Using some cameras, we can detect whether a emergency situation is there, and accordingly we can reach the services. So these are the different sectors like we discussed: smart energy, gas and water leak detection. So a lot of these applications are possible on the smart city point of view. We can also monitor pollution, traffic management can be done using the Internet of Things. Lots of power saving will be there. Okay, smart parking. These are some of the applications of the use of Internet of Things for cities. Similarly, from the environment point of view also, there are a number of applications. Like there is weather monitoring system, air pollution monitoring, noise pollution monitoring, forest fire detection, river flood detection. Okay, so when we talk about the use of Internet of Things to environment, uh, we can detect the weather of different areas. We can have sensors in different locations, and we can monitor the weather. So air pollution can be monitored in different cities, as well as the noise pollution. Forest fire can be detected. If a forest fire is detected, let's say we can have a centralized server where we can like detect and manage the fire. So a lot of these applications are possible. The flood detection is also possible. Then similarly, there is another sector which is the energy. In the energy sector also, we can have multiple applications of the Internet of Things. So we can have smart grids. Okay, so smart grid is basically a data communication network which is integrated with the electrical grid, and its job is basically to collect and analyze the data captured in the near real time about the power transmission, distribution and consumption. Normally the grid has to be balanced. Normally This grid is used, or we can consider the grid as a network that is used to deliver the electricity in our premises. Normally this grid should be balanced, like whatever power is being generated, it should be perfectly consumed. But whenever there is a overload or underload on the grid, it actually destabilizes the grid. So that's why we need to actually predict how much power is going to be consumed. So this smart grid technology provides predictive information and recommendations to utilities, power transmission utilities or power production utilities, their suppliers and their consumers, on how to best manage power. Similarly, for renewable energy systems also, the IoT based systems can be integrated with the transformers at the point of interconnection and measure the electrical variables and how much power is fed into the grid. Actually, this will help in keeping the grid stabilized. Similarly, for wind energy systems, there can be closed loop controls that can be used to regulate the voltage also. Some of the other applications are like in prognosis. That means in systems such as power grid, the real-time information collected using the specialized electrical sensors, which we call as PMU or the phasor measurement unit at the substations. This information received from PMUs should be monitored in real time to estimate the state of the system and also for predicting failures. So predicting failures is actually this prognosis. So these are some of the applications of the Internet of Things in the energy sector. And the next sector is retail. Okay, so when we talk about retail, there can be some major applications of Internet of Things. Like one of the major applications is the inventory management. So systems can actually enable remote monitoring of the inventory. Whenever a product is gone from a shelf, the same can be informed to the inventory people and they can replenish that product. In fact, before a product goes out, we can in fact inform the inventory to replenish it. Similarly, smart payments are also possible. So another major application is smart payments. Okay, so if a person is buying something, they can make contactless payments. Okay, that can be through NFC or Bluetooth. Okay, similarly, another application is the smart vending machines, like in this case. So we can have sensors in these smart vending machines to monitor its operation, and they can send the data to the cloud, okay, which can be used for predictive maintenance. So these are some of the major applications of this Internet of Things in retail. Then the another important area is the logistics. So when we consider the logistics, this Internet of Things can be used for route generation and scheduling. So the IoT based system backed by cloud can provide first response to the route generation queries and can be scaled up to serve a large transportation network. Similarly, we can use it for fleet tracking also, where we can use GPS to track the locations of the vehicles carrying the goods in real time. Then we can also have shipment monitoring system, where there will be IoT based shipment monitoring systems which will be using some sensors such as temperature, humidity, and they can also monitor the vibration, and whatever they monitor, these conditions that will be sent to the cloud, where it can be analyzed to detect whether there is something broken inside that particular package, or if let's say food is being transported, is there any spoilage, etc. So all these things can be detected. Similarly, when we talk about remote vehicle diagnostics, so Internet of Things can be used for collecting data of the vehicle operation, the speed at which it is running, what is the engine RPM, and status of the various subsystems like ABS subsystem, the PCM system, the body control module functions. All these subsystems can also be checked. Next is the use of IoT in agriculture. In the agriculture sector, it can be used for smart irrigation. So we can precisely find out which areas are having low moisture content, and accordingly we can provide water in those places. Similarly, greenhouse control can also be used. So where the temperature of greenhouses can be automatically adjusted according to the environmental conditions. Besides all these, We can also run specific IoT systems to detect bugs or pests in the different agricultural fields. Next category is the industry. In industry, the Internet of Things can be used in sectors such as for machine diagnosis and prognosis. So using the machine diagnosis and prognosis functions, we can not only detect failures in a machine. Basically, diagnosis is finding the failures in a machine or the issues in a machine. We can also do prognosis. That means we can predict when a machine is going to fail. Similarly, in industries, we can also monitor indoor air quality. So again, machine to machine communication. For that also, we can use Internet of Things. So when machines communicate among themselves, they can actually increase the efficiency from the power point of view, time point of view, or the other point of views. They can actually improve the efficiencies. Another important sector is the health and lifestyle sector, where the Internet of Things can be used. It can be used for health and fitness monitoring, and also for wearable electronics. So what we can have is, we can have sensors on the human body which will be sensing some vital parameters, which will be then transmitted to the cloud. In the cloud, we can run applications to detect different diseases from the physiological signals. And once we detect some anomaly, we can provide the health services to that person. We can even track that person. So health and fitness monitoring and wearable electronics are some of the applications of IoT in the health and lifestyle sector. So thank you. We'll end the class here.